Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I am Tamika Thompson and I am the owner and lead resume writer at Thompson Resume Writing Company. And for this video, I'm going to be letting you know the one thing that you never ever want to do on your resume under any circumstances. Now, doing this one thing may seem tempting, especially if you're having a difficult time in your job search. Maybe you're struggling to land interviews, maybe you're not getting any interviews at all, and you're really frustrated, and you may be looking at doing this one thing just to be able to get your foot in the door or to start seeing some success. But I want to let you know you do not want to do it. And I also want to discuss, if you choose to make this poor decision, what are some of the consequences and repercussions that you can face. So I know you're probably on the edge of your seat at this point trying to figure out what I'm going to say. I don't want to keep you waiting any longer, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Drum roll, please. The one thing that you do not want to do on your resume under any circumstances is lie. And this may seem like a no-brainer, but you would be surprised how many people lie on their resumes to get past the applicant tracking system or screening systems, or to be able to get their foot in the door if they're maybe trying to transition careers, or maybe they're trying to jumpstart their career. And just so we're clear, lying means that you are telling something that is untrue, that is misleading, or that misrepresents you. Anything that is false, anything that is untrue, basically anything that is not a hardcore fact, it should not be on your resume, period. And people lie about a lot of things on their resume. Number one is job titles. And I see this a lot sometimes with people who are trying to ascend into a management position. So maybe they're a specialist or a senior specialist or something like that, and they're trying to get into a management role, and they'll fluff up their title. So they'll say, like, you know, specialist / team lead or something like that. Do not fabricate your job title. Whatever your actual job title is, say that. Another common thing that people lie about on their resume is their education. So I see this a lot as well with people who maybe have not completed a college degree. Maybe they completed a lot of coursework, but they didn't actually graduate. Sometimes they'll simply just put Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science, even though they didn't get the actual degree. And in reality, their most recent educational accomplishment or their last educational accomplishment may just be a high school diploma. And another thing that people lie about a lot, like I would say majority of the resumes that I come across will have a lie in regards to this, is experience. So people saying that they've done things in the past that they haven't. So maybe they've combed through the job description and they're looking through the keywords of what the recruiter is looking for, and they'll see something like they want this person to have experience, you know, maybe leading a team or revamping systems and processes or implementing some sort of a something, and they'll just drop it on their resume even though they haven't done it before. Another thing is skills. How many times have we seen memes on social media, on Instagram or TikTok, about people claiming to know Excel but they don't actually know Excel? Skills and software is something that you don't want to lie about, especially if you mess around and have to take some sort of a test or demonstrate your competency in that. That can backfire on you significantly, and then you're going to look like a fool. And another thing is numbers. Now, I've recorded many videos for you guys on how to incorporate and include numbers throughout your resume to communicate your value. And I emphasize in the second video that I made in that series that the number one thing you don't want to do when listing numbers is lie or overinflate a number. Whatever the number is, whether it's low or whether it's high, list it as it is, list it what it is. Do not overinflate it. So for example, if you lead a team of 70 people, but maybe the job description is saying that they want someone who has led a team of 150 people, still put your 70. Don't lie and said you've led the full 150 if you haven't. Business Insider recently reported that 72% of people admitted to lying on their resume as part of a study. That is a lot of people. So that basically means that almost 3 out of 4 people are lying on their resume, which is so not cool. Whatever your experience is, or even what your experience isn't, or your background or your education, whatever, be proud of what it is. Own the fact that you may be lacking some things, but do not lie about it. And unsurprisingly, it's kind of like how I just stated previously, the top lies that people tell on their resume is in relation to education, experience, and skills. Now, people lie on their resume for a number of reasons. Number one is they are desperate. So maybe they were recently laid off, maybe they were fired, or maybe they found themselves suddenly without a job and they are looking to find a job ASAP and they are desperate. Or maybe they are in a toxic work environment and, they are on the verge of potentially rage quitting, or maybe they're at their limit and they just want to get the up out of there. Desperation is never a good thing. And if you are desperate, do not result to lying on your resume in order to get more interviews or to get a job. Next on this list is people feeling inadequate or like they don't have enough of whatever the job is looking for. So again, the skills, the education, the experience, etc. They feel as though if they don't have every single thing that the recruiter is looking for, or they fall short in some areas, that they need to lie in order to appear qualified even though they're not. And you don't want to do this. Again, if you have a high school diploma, just say that you have the high school diploma. If you don't have the degree, that's fine. But do not resort to lying about it. That is the last chance that you want to take, especially if you land a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and you got there on a lie. You may be on the edge of your seat the entire time because you don't know when or if that lie is going to come back to bite you. And who needs that kind of stress? I know I don't. So if you're wondering, okay, Tamika, well, if I decide to lie on my resume, can a recruiter find out that I lied? And the answer is yes. Again, a lie can always be uncovered no matter what it is. Number one way that they can find out that you lied on your resume is by cross-checking the statements and the information that you have on your resume, either with your references or people that you've worked with or with your manager. So we all know that sometimes as part of the final steps in the hiring process, a recruiter will reach out to references or whomever you have listed on your resume as a reference or someone that you've worked with or whatever, and they can ask that person, like, if you have on your resume that you grew sales by 72% as a sales specialist or a sales coordinator, and you list your manager as someone that they can contact, they may say, hey, so-and-so, you were her manager. Did this person actually do this? Another way that they can find out if you lied, especially when it comes to job titles and education, is simply via a background check. So we all know that, again, as part of those final steps before they officially extend an offer letter, or if they've already extended an offer letter and, they're just kind of tying up the loose ends, they can do an employment background check and they can verify what your title was at your last position or in your previous positions. And if anything comes back as inaccurate or off or fabricated or just completely untrue, that can put you at risk for them rescinding the job offer or cause them to reject you from moving forward. So maybe you were on like the cusp of getting the offer, but you lied about something and now you're out of the running completely. And they're going to go with someone else who told the whole truth on their resume. And last but not least, they can ask you certain questions during the interview process to corroborate the statements that are on your resume. Now, this actually happened to me during my last job search. I had one of the hiring managers at the time, who was actually my now boss, read a couple of the statements that I had on my resume and asked me to walk her through how I did that thing. So I think I had on my resume that I, helped the company achieve like a page 1 Google search ranking or something like that. And they had me tell the entire scenario of how I helped accomplish that goal or how I achieved that goal. So when you put something on your resume, it's on the table for discussion, and that can trip you up in the interview process if you list something or say something, but you can't explain it, you can't speak to it, you can't give any background information. That may be a telltale sign for them that you're lying. So that is the number one thing that you do not want to do on your resume under any circumstances. Again, I know it can be tempting. I've been there, at times when I was job searching and it seemed like I was getting nothing but rejection left and right. And it was tempting to put on my resume that I had an MBA for the type of positions that I was going for that required it. But I never did it. And I don't want you to be tempted so much to the fact where you resort to lying, because you don't need to. Your experience, your background, your qualifications, your credentials are enough. And if you are feeling insecure or you feel like you have to lie, that may be a sign that you need to take some steps in your career development or personal development to overcome that hump. So if you are insecure about not having a bachelor's degree, then go ahead and go back to school. If you're insecure about the job title that you have, maybe it's time for you to take a step up and take a risk and try to move upwards. If there are some skills that you don't know, maybe you need to take a webinar or a training. There's always a better solution and a different route that you can take than lying. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, or if you liked watching it in general, or you learned something, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up down below. If you have any other questions in regards to lying on your resume that I did not answer in this video, go ahead and drop that down in the comments down below. If you need assistance with your resume, feel free to reach out to me. I am accepting new clients. My email address is hello@thompsonresumes.com, and you can also visit my website at www.thompsonresumes.com. To receive more resume and career content from me, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. You can also follow and connect with me on social media. My social media handles and profiles are in the description box down below. And I do have an email list that you can subscribe to. That link is also in the description box down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye! And no lying on your resume.